I think she's having some kind of mental break or something.
No. You want me to call for a 1052 because she's got like scratches on her neck and she's got blood on her mouth and I don't know what's going on.
On March 4th, 2022, a routine shoplifting call at a convenience store spiraled into a complex legal confrontation. This case examines the thin line between a business owner's rights and a citizen's constitutional protections, as seen through the following body camera footage.
No, walk with me to the store so I can prove to you I bought this. See, ma'am?
Well, okay. Why don't you come talk to us outside about whatever's going on here?
Well, you know what? You can walk right out.
So, what's going on? And I came to the store to buy some candy, and she locked me in there.
In here?
Yeah.
Did you buy the candy?
She won't let me.
Why wouldn't she let you buy the candy?
She thinks I'm stealing.
Did you have money to pay for the candy?
Yep.
Then why would she think you're stealing? And I see you got money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
were you guys having issues when you walked in?
not at all. She took a lot of time there, right?
Okay.
She opened the door. I went there to see just what she's doing. The refrigerator was open. She take 2 Red Bulls, right? And she was standing here. She grabbed these 2 chocolates in front of me. I came back. So she said she tried to run away, right? She said me, take this 1 chocolate. I have taken only this 1 chocolate. I said no. You have taken all the things from here. So why you are telling you have taken? You have to pay me for 2 things are in her hand, Red Bull and these 2 chocolates, right? So she is paying for me like she's stealing and she's running away. I said her, why you are doing like that? She's covering her face also. Totally, she's covering her face. So she's telling me like that. I said just stay. Why you are doing like that? So she said, no, I have all the things in my hand already. I said, I didn't see you when you came inside. You were not having anything. Why you will buy only 1 chocolate from here when you are already having 3 things in your hand? Why you will come only for this one?
So she said she was going to pay for that.
She said, only I have taken this one from here.
Okay.
If I came by the candy, y'all set me free already. You set me free already. I was locked in the store. Thank you.
Yeah, but they also called to say that you were trying to steal from them, so we're not done looking into whatever happened.
Did they call you after I called you?
I'm not sure. I don't take the calls. I just go to them.
So did you come out here and then lock the door or something, or?
Yeah. I just stand here and I just lock the door and I just call you then.
All right. So she said she only had that one and she was going to pay for that one.
Yeah.
But she had everything else in her hand.
Everything else in her hand. So these all stuff are from our store. So I said, if you just show me where you buy that one. No. I will only pay for that one. I have only buy. She said.
Do you want her arrested? Do you want her banned from here? What do you want to do?
No, if she has taken the stuff, right? Whatever she has taken, she has to pay for that one because I am working here. So that's why the reason is that.
So you went in there, and it looks like you bought some Red Bulls.
No, not.
You had those from somewhere else?
I have these.
Okay.
I go in, look at candy. I want to eat it. But instead, she takes it from me.
Okay. So she took you. So you didn't eat anything. You didn't open anything. Okay. I guess then my question is, how did it get to the point where she's calling us and locking you in the store, and you're calling us, and how did it get to that? If you didn't eat any candy and you know what I mean? How did it get to that point?
Are you okay? Are you experiencing any mental health issues today? Lauren?
I'm under attack.
What'd you say?
I'm under attack.
You're under attack?
I'm under attack.
Okay, what does that mean?
I tried to get some candy.
Okay. Okay.
All right, well, when my boss is done talking to them inside, we'll have,
I mean, I don't have the candy. So what is it that... Well, I have the candy. I just can't grab it.
I don't. This is why I'm confused. I guess you're saying that you went to grab candy and you're going to pay for it, and then that's where I'm confused. What else happened in there?
So she has one Red Bull open because the other one's not open. I can see it from here.
She opened that one in front of me.
Okay. And so if she can't pay for it, what do you want?
I needed a case against you because I needed the money back. That's all. Because it's been happening several times. So last 2 times with a different customer, I let them go. So this time it is happening too. So I need you to pay. If she's not paying, I would like to go for a case.
Okay. All right. And then you want her banned from the store?
Yes, also.
Okay.
Did you try to walk out of the store without paying?
No.
Okay. Then I guess that's where I'm starting to get confused.
Yes, I had candy, but she wouldn't let me get it.
What do you mean by that?
Why'd you go into the bathroom, Lauren? Did you have to use the restroom?
All right. Well, my boss is coming out now, so we'll see what's going on.
So, do you have anything else on you that from in there?
I couldn't buy anything.
We're not getting a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I couldn't buy anything. She wouldn't let me.
Okay. She says she wants you if you pay for your.
I got these. Walk with me to the same store.
She said they said you came in here with nothing in your hands.
What? Look at the camera.
Okay. Where did you get those from?
Walk with me.
No. Tell me where you got them from.
I said the store.
What store?
The store.
So if you want to pay for your one Red Bull,
I didn't know. I already had these.
Then they don't want to press charges.
You're not free to go. You're not free to go.
Man, I already had these. Y'all not doing that to me. I already had
Lauren,
these.
stop. Let's just have a conversation,
Look,
okay?
this is
Don't
mine.
walk
All right.
away
I don't want
from
this
us.
spilled on me.
Okay, so please let it go.
Stop, Lauren. Stop.
Why are you doing
Drop
this?
everything out your hands right now.
Okay.
Don't fight me. I'm telling you, you won't win. Don't do it. Don't fight me.
Okay, I'm okay.
Do not fight me.
Okay, I'm not
I'm
fighting.
telling you.
Why are you putting
Stop
me in
tensing up
handcuffs?
on me.
I'm
Hey,
not.
listen to what I'm telling you, okay? Give her your hand and don't fight us. Stop.
Okay. I'm recording this. I have a right.
fine.
You're trying to
You're-
take
So, hey, stop.
He's not going anywhere. Great, we'll pull the sleeve up. Turn her onto her side. I think she's having some kind of mental break or something.
No.
You want me to call for a 1052? She's got like scratches on her neck and she's got blood on her mouth and I don't know what's going on.
Call and we'll have a check.
Would you rather stay like this or sit up?
I need a black officer.
Okay, there is one right here.
I don't have blood on my mouth. Why she seeing blood on my mouth? You robbing me?
No, I'm not robbing you, Lauren. I'm just checking your pockets for any weapons.
Look, I got something in my pocket to protect me so I don't get. Don't get me for it, alright?
You got it.
Okay. I'm gonna put all your money back in your pocket, Lauren. Do you take any medications we should know about?
So I can't believe all this is happening because I wanted some candy. Talk about a good Friday.
Well, it didn't have to go this way. We told you to stop doing what you were doing. We just wanted to talk to you. We weren't done talking
He
to you.
snatched something on my hands because I already paid for it. It's not my
you
fault
tried
I
to
had
walk
money.
away from us, and we said you couldn't do that. And
I
then this
didn't
is
do
where we're
anything
at, Lauren.
Wrong. If I'm going to the hospital, I like to choose it.
We're not saying that.
Because now y'all trying to say I'm mentally ill.
No, you're acting like you might
Well,
be.
this isn't
All
normal
I want is
behavior.
candy.
We were willing to go talk to the store where you're saying you
I
got
told
your Red
you
Bull.
walk with me.
We don't do walk with me. You're gonna have to tell us where it was,
I
and you
said
didn't want
the
to do that.
store.
There's quite a few of those in this town.
You know. So you know I paid for it.
They said you came in here without it.
Who said? The lady who locked me in the store? I
Yeah.
called you and you arrested me.
She called us too.
No, she called you after I called you.
It doesn't matter who
Why?
calls first. It
Because
matters.
she was
All you had to do is cooperate and go through this, right? That's all you had to do?
I'm not talking.
That's fine.
Do you want to go to the hospital?
Sure.
Hey, Lauren.
Hey.
I'm Luke. I'm one of the paramedics. We just got called. What's going on today?
I bought 2 drinks, went to a store, went
She's
to another
in
store, and then they wouldn't let me out.
Was he staying there like that or no? So did you just lay down or did you fall down or
We were
anything like
investigating a
that?
theft, and then she tried to run away, and then she splashed a Red Bull on her paws.
All right.
What's going on, Lauren?
This police officer.
Am I under arrest?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't need this.
You don't need
Can you
what?
take this off?
It's up to you. I'm only doing it again because you asked me to.
Take it off?
Hey, Lauren, you're allowed to get treated medically as a priority before our stuff. So if you think you need to go to the hospital or get a doctor to look at you, that supersedes what we've got going on. So if that's what you want to do, that's fine. We're not going to stop that from happening. But if you're not interested in doing that, then we're going to move along with what we got to do.
And ain't no questions are answered appropriately, but just see
But confused.
No, wait. Why didn't you guys go to the store and see if I paid?
Wait a minute. I'm not a cop. I'm here for you. That's
Was
it.
she here?
My boss did.
And what they
My boss
said?
went in here.
No,
and
the
then
one you said before.
Officer Densberger, he went to Casey's, which is where you got the Red Bulls before, the other Red Bulls, and they said you stole those too.
I told them I was coming back.
That covers the events as they unfolded on the scene. Now, let's dive deeper into the post-incident breakdown to analyze the legalities, the specific actions taken by everyone involved, the key lessons we can all learn from this encounter. The initial detention in this encounter is governed by the Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution, which protects individuals from unreasonable searches and seizures. In this scenario, the officers were responding to a call regarding a suspected theft. Under the legal principle known as the shopkeeper's privilege, a merchant has the limited right to detain a person they have probable cause to believe is committing theft. However, this privilege is strictly defined. The detention must be conducted in a reasonable manner and for a reasonable amount of time. If a merchant exceeds these bounds, they may face civil liability for false imprisonment. The officer's role upon arrival is to transition this private detention into an official investigative stop, as established in the landmark case of Terry v. Ohio from 1968. A Terry stop requires reasonable suspicion that criminal activity is afoot. Here, the merchant's allegations provided that suspicion. The legal tension escalates when the subject, Lauren, claims she was locked inside. This raises questions about whether the merchant's actions were proportional to the alleged crime. From a law enforcement perspective, the officers must navigate these conflicting narratives while maintaining scene control. When Lauren attempts to leave the scene before the investigation is complete, the legal standard for the use of force becomes relevant. Under the Supreme Court case of Graham v. Connor, decided in 1989, the reasonableness of an officer's use of force must be judged from the perspective of a reasonable officer on the scene. The court outlined 3 primary factors, often called the Graham factors. These factors include the severity of the crime, whether the suspect poses an immediate threat to the safety of officers or others, and whether the suspect is actively resisting arrest or attempting to evade arrest by flight. In this instance, Lauren's attempt to walk away and her subsequent physical resistance triggered the officer's authority to use reasonable, non-deadly force to maintain the detention and ensure safety. Furthermore, Lauren's erratic behavior and statements about being under attack suggest a possible mental health crisis. Modern policing procedures, often influenced by the Americans with Disabilities Act, require officers to consider a subject's mental state when determining the appropriate level of force and communication. The officer's decision to request a 1052 or medical assistance aligns with professional standards for handling subjects in crisis. The subsequent search of Lauren's pockets is legally justified under 2 possible exceptions to the warrant requirement. First, as a Terry frisk for weapons to ensure officer safety, and second, as a search incident to a lawful arrest once probable cause for theft was established. Probable cause is a higher standard than reasonable suspicion, requiring facts that would lead a reasonable person to believe a crime has been committed. In this case, the confirmation of stolen property from a nearby store, Casey's, solidified the probable cause for arrest. Under many state statutes, such as Section 812.015, the act of retail theft is defined as taking possession of merchandise with the intent to deprive the merchant of its value. The discovery of items taken from a separate location expanded the scope of the criminal investigation beyond the initial call. Now we will provide an overall evaluation and grading for the parties involved. Lauren receives a grade of D. While her initial detention by the merchant may have been distressing, her decision to physically resist the officers and attempt to flee an active investigation created a dangerous situation. Her actions violated the legal obligation to comply with a lawful investigative detention, regardless of her personal belief in her innocence. The responding officers receive a grade of B+. They demonstrated professionalism by attempting to de-escalate the situation verbally before resorting to physical control. They correctly identified the need for medical intervention and followed established legal protocols for searching a suspect. Their grade is slightly lower due to the initial confusion regarding the jurisdiction of the alleged theft at the second location, though this was quickly resolved. Several key lessons can be drawn from this event. For citizens, it is vital to understand that a Terry stop is a lawful command to stay. Resisting, even if you believe you have done nothing wrong, can lead to additional charges and the lawful use of force. The appropriate venue to challenge the legality of a detention is in a court of law, not through physical resistance at the scene. For law enforcement, this incident highlights the importance of recognizing the signs of mental health distress early. Maintaining a reactionary gap and using clear, repetitive commands can help prevent a situation from escalating into a physical struggle. Additionally, thorough investigative work, such as confirming facts with neighboring businesses, is essential to building a solid legal case and ensuring the correct person is held accountable. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the legal complexities of modern law enforcement. If you found this analysis insightful, please consider subscribing to our channel and hitting the notification bell for more professional breakdowns of police interactions. Your support helps us continue to provide high-quality educational content. Thank you for watching.